Pastor Mike here with It's a Guy Thing, a devotion for men not ashamed of loving Jesus. And today I want to speak on the topic of what defines you. As a man of God, what defines you? Well, let's look at Genesis chapter 3, verse 17, where God is speaking to Adam. And God says, because you listened to your wife and ate fruit from the tree about which I commanded you, you must not eat from. God says, cursed is the ground because of you. Through painful toil, you will eat food from it all the days of your life. We can see right from creation, it's clear that for men, work is an important part of who we are. For we will toil for the rest of our life. Scripture says clearly that we are to work hard for the duration of life. We're going to toil just so we can eat. However, for many men, a job, it kind of takes up a large part of the waking hours of our day, and it kind of becomes who we are. Thus, this job can become an overarching force in how we as men define ourselves, how we define our self-worth, our value in this life. You see, although a job is important, this is not God's intention or purpose for us on this earth. We're not to be defined by what we do. You see, by itself, a job is neither good nor bad. See, God understood that a job is very important for men, for it is how we are to live, to eat, to survive. See, regarding the importance of a job, God says in Genesis 3:19, by the sweat of your brow you will eat your food until you return to the ground. Since from it you were taken, for dust you are, and to dust you will return. So we will work for the rest of our lives. But did you know that God knows the truth about us as men? He knows the good and he knows the sometimes immoral part of who we are, the natural nature of who we are. He knows that if our priorities aren't God-centered, we will wander. We will wander without truly discovering what our true purpose is. See, the thing is, men of God, God has a great plan and amazing purpose for each of us as men of God. We are to stand up, we are to lead in the church, in our home, in the marketplace. And the thing is, when we keep God first in our heart, our true God-given purpose will reveal itself. So let me ask you, where does God stack up in your life? Well, let's try this out for a moment. Let's just say that you met somebody for the first time and they asked you to tell something about yourself. How would you describe yourself? Would you talk about your job first? Well, this is often an indicator that maybe we've fallen into the trap of the fact that our job is defining who we are. You know, that's okay. We don't need to beat ourselves up over this as a man of God, but maybe it's time to change how we see ourselves, how we define ourselves as men of God, and the fact that we know that God must come first. So let me give you a challenge that I hope will help to begin to shift our habits, our mindset about what truly defines us as men of God. The next time somebody asks you about you and you begin to describe yourself, why not with the help of God, begin by describing yourself more in terms of God. Talk about your faith. Talk about your family. Talk about your work in the church first. And then you can talk about your job. Remember that as a man of God, your job is not what defines who you are. Your relationship with God through Jesus Christ does. So men of God, stand up and put God first. God bless.